class. I hope you had a lovely weekend. For your English lesson today, the learning objective is, can I edit my work and make it better? So in the previous lesson, we were completing the innovation of our instructions, so making up, creating new information. In today's lesson, we will be editing our work, so changing it to make it as best as it can be. Let's have a look at these sets of instructions. It says, how to escape the house. Do you think about the outdoors? Do you dream about playing with your friends and running free in the park? If so, you are destined to escape your house. Do not despair, help is at hand. Escaping your house has never been so easy. Read these step-by-step instructions and soon you too could be riding your bike to freedom. What you will need: rope, back on, backpack, dark clothes, Alexa, and snacks. What you will need to do. Number 1, first quickly pack my backpack with snacks for the day. Number 2, next put on my dark clothing to help you disappear silently into the dark. Number 3, then quietly set up the rope and the bacon to distract the dog. Number 4, after that, sneakily set the Alexa to set an alarm off as a distraction. Number 5, then wait patiently for the Alexa to go off. And number 6, finally, when the Alexa goes off and distracts people, leopard crawl quickly to the door and escape. Important note, make sure that you work quietly and keep your plans secret. You do not want anyone finding out about your plan and foiling your escape. Now, when editing our work, we should focus on the following few ideas. You should think of certain ways to improve a sentence. You can change different word classes, and remember that not all our sentences need jazzing up or need to be made better. Now, this editing station is a really good way of keeping track of ways in which you can change your sentence, and I have made it bigger for you on the next slide so you can take a screenshot or pause the video and have a read yourself, but I will read it to you now. So the editing station, you mainly focus on end of sentence punctuation. So a pro tip is proofreading. Read through your writing and decide where one idea ends and another begins. When you are reading out loud, another tip is to read it out loud and decide where it would be best to take a breath. And think about what you put when you take a breath. What sort of punctuation do you use? Make sure that you have separated your writing into sentences. Which punctuation will you use at the end of each sentence? Because the type of punctuation that you do use can change the way your sentence sounds. So you can choose to put a full stop. Use a full stop at the end of a sentence if your sentence is not a question or an exclamation. It shows that your sentence is finished. Put a full stop at the end of a statement. So for example, some statements for which you put a full stop include, my house is over there. Many species of birds migrate. Slowly he entered the cave. So a full stop is the most common way to end a sentence. Most sentences do end in a full stop. If you read books and you see different types of sentences around in your daily lives, you will notice that most of them do end in full stops. But another way to end a sentence is by using a question mark, and you use it at the end of a question. For example, what time does the film start? Should he have opened the door? Why is the sky blue? Should I open the door? Are we lost? Asked James. Now remember, you still need to use end of sentence punctuation after an ellipsis. So an ellipsis is ... The final way in which you can end your sentence is by using an exclamation mark, and you use that at the end of an exclamation. So when something is said with great feeling, you could say at the end of a command as well, or when somebody is shouting. For example, what a wonderful day! How exciting! Stop! Shouted the police officer. Exclamation marks are not used that often. And make sure when you are using exclamation marks, you only put one. One is more than enough to show that you are putting emphasis on it, that you are wanting somebody to shout it or wanting somebody to really say it with great feeling. 4 things that you might want to change include the noun in your sentences. So that means it's the name of a person, a place or thing, or something abstract like a feeling. Happiness is a noun. You might want to change the verbs. They are your doing and your action words. You might want to change the adjective. So that is the word that describes the noun. And lastly, you might want to change adverbs. So you might want to change the words that you use to describe how something is being done. Slowly, quickly, carefully, quietly. That's something that you might want to change or make better. However, not all writing needs editing for the sake of it. You don't need to change something just because you want to change something. Sometimes a simple sentence can be the most effective and doesn't need changing. Sometimes you could have a sentence that really is quite simple in what it's saying, but that is what makes that sentence really, really good. In addition, not every word needs to be a thesaurus word, as all words can be used to great effect. So you don't need to look up every single word in the thesaurus to make it better, because sometimes the simplest word can often be the best one to use for that specific sentence. Let me give you an example. We have the sentence, walk to the door. So whilst the sentence is good, it's telling us what's happening, there are some ways that we can improve it. The way to improve it is by changing it into creep silently to the front door. Think about what effect this new sentence has and why it is a better sentence for the reader. Some examples that I can think of, some reasons for this sentence being better, is because it's telling us how they're walking to the door. They're creeping. They're going silently to the front door. It's being a little bit more specific. So in my head, I can imagine that action in a more clear way. And also telling me it's the front door rather than just a random door, again, really helps with the imagery in my mind. It helps me to picture it, because when you don't have pictures helping you, it can be quite tricky to imagine it. So that's a nice way to improve your sentence. They've got more specific words. Good vocabulary there, I would say. So we come back to the instructions that I read out to you earlier on in this lesson. Read through what you wrote on Friday. So ignore this one for now. Look back to your instructions. Take this chance now to pause the video, grab your instructions, and then come back. Now, when you get your instructions in front of you, these are some of the potential errors that you can look out for. Capital letters. Have you started your sentence and have you capitalized your proper nouns? Have you started your sentences with capital letters and have you put capital letters in for proper nouns? Proper nouns are the names of things. They can be the names of people, the names of countries, of cities. So not every single noun needs a capital letter, only the proper nouns. Have you made sure that you have included a comma after your fronted adverbials? Have you made sure to end your sentences with full stops? Have you made sure to end your sentences with question marks or exclamation marks if you needed them? Have you made sure to number your steps? And have you made sure to bullet point your list of things that you will need? Have a little think to yourself. Obviously, don't do it all right now. Just keep listening for now, and then you'll know what to do when you see your tasks. For this passage, for this set of instructions, let's look for some punctuation errors. Now, if I was to pick some punctuation errors, I would say that I can see there's no comma after the fronted adverbial, so I'm going to put a comma after my fronted adverbial first there. There's no full stop for number 2. I need to make sure that there is a full stop ending my sentence there. So that is what you can do when you're looking for your punctuation errors. Just have a quick read through and see if you can find any of those mistakes that you want to correct. And using a different coloured pen or pencil is a really good idea, because then you're able to see, they're able to stand out that much better. Let's look for adverbials in our sentences. If I was to look at these sets of instructions, the adverbials that I can see is first, I can see next, then, after that, then again, and finally. So each of my steps has a fronted adverbial. Now, let's look for some spelling mistakes. Now, I did find one, remember, when we were looking at this before, I found patiently. Are there any more spelling mistakes that I can see? Let me see. First, quickly, well, actually, I'm going to go from the beginning. How to escape the house. Do you think about the outdoors? Do you dream is incorrect, about playing with your friends and running free in the park? If so, you are destined to escape your house. Do not despair. Let's see if I can find any more. Oh, I know read is not spelled correctly. Let's see what else is not spelled correctly. Oh, I think that's supposed to say bacon, but it says bacon, so that's not correct. Let's see what else there is. Quickly is not spelled correctly. Let's see. I think that's it. I found all my spelling mistakes, so you can do that as well. Read through your instructional text and see if you can spot the spelling mistakes. You can underline them and then write the corrections either on top or on a separate piece of paper. So your 3 tasks for today are as follows. Task number 1, you are going to complete the editing that has just been modelled to you. So look back at your set of instructions and see if you can make any corrections. It's basically the corrections that I would make if I was marking your work, Williams class, but it's a nice idea for you to have a go at doing that as well. Once you have finished that, task number 2 is to read through your writing and make sure that you have included technical vocabulary. So some words that you can include could be eat, switch, jump, cross, cut, bend, boil, mix, rotate, turn, score, take, fold, put, place, make, climb. Once you have finished task 2, your third and final task is to rewrite your final innovated paragraph out neatly with all the corrections and exciting vocabulary. So we should have 2 sets of instructions then at the end of this. One that was your original with all the corrections and edits made on it, and then your final innovated paragraph with all the corrections and the exciting vocabulary. So have a go at doing that for me. I look forward to seeing all of your work on Tapestry, and take care, Williams class, always, and I'll see you very soon.